This is Pastor Omar. The peace of the Lord be with you. Uh, Hello, First Presbyterian Church of Umatilla. I just wanted to give everyone an update. This is a ministry update on what has been happening at the church, what we are looking to happen in the month of August. So this is just an update. The session met in late July and had to reassess where we were in terms of opening the sanctuary for in-person worship. I'd like to say that the church is not closed. First Presbyterian Church ministry continues every day. But the in-person worship in our sanctuary is one of those features that we have been wrestling with based on the high number of cases that we've seen here in Florida. We've had 8, 9, 10,000 cases almost every day. The last time I looked, it was like a 10% positivity rate. And we've had 3 days of record-breaking deaths in the state. So COVID continues to be a big issue around the world. I think our state, the state of Florida, is the second state in terms of the number of cases that we have. And so when we sat down to talk about where we were in terms of the risk to our congregation, the session of First Presbyterian Church voted to continue the closure of in-person worship at the sanctuary of the church and continue to stream on Facebook and on YouTube, as well as other things that we are doing to try to keep in touch and continue the work of the church in this challenging time. So this is an update. August, for the month of August, we are not going to be returning to in-person worship, and once again we'll be reevaluating for the month of September, and we'll be letting everyone know prior to reopening the sanctuary for in-person worship if we're able to do that safely in the month of September. So again, that's just an update on where we were. We've tried to get this information out to our congregation in every form that we have, whether it's mail or electronic, email, and on our video platforms. Okay, so once again, let me just remind everyone that it can be frustrating to have our facilities closed because we are still not able to have Holy Communion together as a church, worship in person, which is a huge part of our spiritual development. We're not able to be as effective in our ministry to the community as we have been in the past. But on the other hand, there are other opportunities that have been open to us. So one of the challenges for churches during this period of time is to ask ourselves and to ask God to open our eyes so that we can see what we're called to do, what we're called to be and do, even in this restrictive setting. God is still at work. It becomes more of a challenge to see how God is working. And of course, I know this is a challenge to many folks in our congregation. So I want to encourage you to continue to, one of the tools that I've been using is the vision statement. Earlier this year, I think it was last year, really, we began working on this. The vision statement for First Presbyterian Church was redone. And we just selected just 3 words from that vision statement. I'm not going to share the whole thing with you this morning, but the 3 key words that jump out of the statement that we have is worship, grow, and share. And the committee felt that the team that was working on this felt that those 3 words really do envelop what we are supposed to do. So if you're kind of struggling to understand how to approach worship and how to approach ministry during this COVID time, use those 3 key words. So find ways to worship. It may be that you can only get together with one other person. It may be that you can only get together by yourself. But worship is an integral part of what we do. And even if it's in an online format where there are more than 2 or 3 gathered, even though it's virtually, try to find a way in which you can worship. So one of the things that we're doing is we are sending out a newsletter called Presbyterian Good News. This has been the longtime newsletter at the church that for decades has been used to get information out to folks. Everyone who does not have an electronic email address should be receiving one of these Presbyterian Good News packages. It includes a update from me, a letter from the pastor. It includes our worship liturgy for the month. It should also include 2 or 3 of my sermons that can be read. So this packet, it goes to the U.S. Postal Service. So I know that I've heard some news about the U.S. Postal Service having some issues with delivering the mail and getting backlogged. There's some funding issues in Congress, I think. But the U.S. Postal Service still is very critical because that's what we rely on to get out our information to folks. And so if you do not have an email address, or if you know of someone who doesn't have an email address, or someone who is not receiving our electronic media, make sure that they call me or call the church office and let us know that they are not receiving this information, and we will make sure to get it to them. And then finally, I know I say this every time, but if you have a smartphone, or if you have a computer or an iPad or a laptop, I send out an email. And that email is, I think, the most critical tool, because everything, the videos for worship, the music videos from our musicians, and any correspondences are all embedded in that email. So all you have to do is click on the icon, click on the little video window, and the box is in there, and it will automatically launch everything for you. And you'll be able to see the sermon, you'll be able to worship with us, you'll be able to access important information. So we have a web page, our First Presbyterian Church homepage. That page has the liturgy for the week as well as the sermon on there, so you can do a virtual worship and just go ahead and get on that page, scroll through or read through the liturgy and the prayers, launch the videos to listen to the music and to the video, and you can have your own worship experience. Facebook Live at 11 a.m. we are going to be streaming, and you're invited to watch along with us, and we'll be saying our prayers and hearing a sermon, as well as saying the liturgy and prayers and reading of scripture. So you can worship with us on that fashion. And then finally, on YouTube, we have 2 channels. We have my Pastor Omar channel, and we have First Presbyterian Church of Umatilla's channel. Both of those channels are available for you to go on and watch past videos, watch some additional informational videos that I'll be posting. The service will always be posted on there. Today I'll be posting about Matthew 25, just as a reminder. That we are one of the churches last year. This year, the session voted. Again, this is part of our vision team. We voted to join in with the Presbyterian Church's Matthew 25 Church Challenge. What does it mean to be a Matthew 25 church? We want to be Matthew 25 Christians. This is not just a program of the Presbyterian Church. This is really what it means to be disciples of Jesus Christ. And there's an additional challenge now that we are in the COVID environment. So in that we are in COVID, how can we be Matthew 25 Christians, right? That's the challenge. Anyway, this is just an update. So again, I hope that this helps bring you up to speed. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Give me a call on my cell phone. I have it on 99% of the time. It's very close to me. Leave a message if not, and I'll get back to you. Again, the peace of the Lord be with you. I hope that you have a wonderful day today. We are expecting a tropical storm. It was a Hurricane Isaias. It has been downgraded to a tropical storm, but as I was making this video just outside, there has been gusts of rain and wind that were just howling out there. So throughout this day is going to be kind of a blustery, rainy, and possible thunderstormy day. But we're kind of grateful right now that the last information that I looked at did downgrade the storm to a tropical storm, and that hopefully will translate into minimal impacts for all of us here in Florida, and especially on the east coast of Florida, all of the Floridians and our Central Florida churches as well.
Heavy rain has been detected near your location.
I don't know if you heard that. Heavy rain has been detected on my location. That's just coming out from my smartphone. I did not silence it. So thank you, everybody. Keep First Presbyterian Church in your prayers. If you're listening to this anywhere else from around the world, for our church family, continue to pray for your session and your church. as we look forward to the month of August, and trying to do ministry and stay connected, and grow in our faith, and then share. That is the three components of our mission statement. Worship, that's where everything begins. Find ways to worship, and then grow in our faith. And then as we grow in our faith, go out into the world and find ways in which we can share that faith, or share our resources or our treasures or our passions, share the love of Jesus, share what flows out of us with those that are in need. All right, peace of the Lord be with you, and God's blessings to all of you.